Hey Yosef, thank you for sending in your art for critique. Happy to share my thoughts and help you with what you're struggling with, which is to understand lighting, and you're trying to create the illusion of form. It is feeling flat and too bright. Maybe there's too much saturation going on. So I don't think that the issue is saturation, and I also don't think that the issue is the fact that you've added additional colors, though I do think that both of those things have made this study more complex. Additionally, I think one of the biggest differences is just the shapes. You've got this more cartoonish caricature look. Not sure if that's what you're going for, but if your focus is to improve your ability to capture the impression of form, then try to set up your studies so that that is the only difficult thing you're wrestling with. Don't add more colors. You don't play around with saturation. You don't play around with the shapes. What creates the illusion of form? Focus on that. Because you're doing a lot of great things in here, but it's falling apart because I think you're focusing on so many different things and you don't have a clear process that is just taking you step by step in deepening your understanding of light and shadow. So I would recommend that you do a transfer instead to skip all the extra work that comes with drawing freehand. You can thin down the reference a little bit and then block in everything that is in shadow, right? It could look something like this if you can see that a little bit better. And then from there, you can get into base shades for each object. We really have three objects here. We've got the hair, we've got the flesh, and we've got cloth, and then we have the background. I took a base color from the photo reference, and I just use that as my simplified base value of my light, and then this is a shadow of this one. This is the light for this. This is the shadow for that. This is the background. This is the light on the hair. This is the shadow on the hair. You can see a little bit of a difference right in here. And so from here, the next step would be to watch your edges. And I'm going to grab this smudge tool, and I'm going to be really rough around the edges with this, but I would look through and identify what's a form edge and what's a cast shadow edge. And for most of the form shadow edges, I would be softening them. They would be as soft as I would need them to, however slowly I wanted them to turn in form. So this cheek, I'd let this one be a little bit thicker of a transition. And it seems like you already had a decent understanding of this part, but anything that's a form shadow would be getting this. But you can see how just this very simple but powerful idea is like, if you want to improve in a specific area, set yourself up for success where you're improving in just that area, and that's the one challenging thing for your piece, and that nothing else would be challenging. Finding the shapes isn't too challenging. It does take some time to improve your ability to identify what's light and shadow, which I've kind of skipped in here, but this is a very fast way. You can go through a whole bunch of these, block in the light and shadow, and then simplify the edges into being form or cast, and then moving on from there. So these are form shadows in here, and you can see this is just slowly starting to take shape. Can get a little bit thicker in here. And, you can get real creative with some of this if you want. So it seemed like there was a cast shadow on the side here. Let me pull up the reference again. So we've got some relatively soft cast shadows. The reason why these cast shadows are softer is because there might be some door that he's kind of coming through, and it's just so far away. And so there's an element of depth happening here. I could really kind of push and pull with this smudge tool, kind of pushing paint around to really sculpt. And this isn't always the best way to paint. We're kind of losing color in the transitions here, but that would be a different topic to discuss. But you can see how I'm starting to get this impression in. And even though my values are so simplified, just a very, very fast and quick way to create the impression of form. So it can definitely help a lot to just get your shapes right in the very beginning. Many professionals, they're not ashamed to use transfers even, but this is just for studying, and we're studying light and shadow. How do we make something look three-dimensional? And this is just the beginning of it. There's so much to discuss. Like, does it need to be soft or sharp? And then I'm stepping back and assessing my work and then moving forward, being careful to not just willy-nilly soften everything, It can be tempting to do that. It might look nice, but that's not necessarily going to give me the structure that I'm trying to achieve. So having some sharp edges in here is very important for the illusion of form. And this is all being done with just one value for the light, one value for the shadow for each object. So now I'm kind of moving on from the light to start breaking up edges in the hair. Mix it again with the background, again with this, just completely focusing on my edges at this stage can really help you like loosen up, get an impression. Again, there's better ways to go about this, but if we're just talking form, it's not a bad way to go. Get some darker values in here. This is looking really sharp in here. I think I'm missing a shadow value for the flesh. So I can start to get more specific and to lay these colors back in. And this needs to be soft. So, everything I'm doing, you see, I'm kind of just really having fun with this impressionistic style. But what's actually happening is very deliberate decisions based off of very important rules. It's a little bit easier to refine shapes once I've already gotten a nice impression of the form going. So if I need to grab a darker value at this point, I can even get into here instead, kind of an in-between value for some of my darker values. I think there's some eyebrow somewhere in there. And I'm making sure that this area, which is in the light, stays a brighter value because it's being touched by the light. So I'm making some deliberate decisions. This edge in here needs to be soft because it's from a very distant cast shadow. Still very loose, but we're just got this nice impression. Some of the hair could be spilling over in here and we're moving forward. Now that is just base values, right? But what happens when I start to get more playful with color? So maybe I choose a value that goes in between these, something nice and rich, maybe a nice orange, some nice rich in-between colors. Maybe this can be a little bit darker. I'm trying to find good transitional values for now. This basically doesn't need anything, so I'll leave that alone. So I'm now moving into a brush that can control my paint density with this, so I can get some nice golden colors, some of this transitions between light and shadow. So I might have to go back and revisit those, which is why I'll often put in additional colors and values before I soften all of my edges. But this just kind of brings in some nice rich golds. Let's work on the transitions in here, bring some nice reds into here. I can really just kind of throw them in. It can be really playful. I want to watch my edges. Don't want to change the shapes too much. I am doing this very quickly as I'm just giving this as a demonstration. Hopefully you can see how much I zoom back, check my work. It can be really fun and loose because I feel like I've got the important things down. I already have the impression of form. It's just a little bit loose right now. So I can play around with different colors. I think I might go a little bit darker with this red. Something that helps just bridge the gap, adding these new values, but not losing the impression. Lots of darker values here in the eye. And I'm also trying to remember that I'm going to get even brighter. I don't want to rush to darken everything so much that I don't have my middle ground. And now let's find a nice value for our highlights. Can put it off to the side, and now I can utilize this and just with my paint density, I can control how selective I am in using it. And you can see that even if I'm quite different than the reference, it's still doing a pretty good job of communicating the form that I want. So there's room to play. It's okay to be a little inaccurate even. Might not get the likeness. So it does matter if you're really into portraiture and you need to capture the likeness of your clients, which is something I'm often having to do. But if you're just practicing forms, you can, maybe if you want to practice a looser style, this could be kind of a fun way to do it. Starting with this approach where you're not relying on lines, you're not even having to stay inside of your lines. I've definitely lost some of my shapes along the way. Like this eye is looking pretty funny to me right now. So I'm starting to tighten up my work, but just giving you an idea. It is a very loose approach, and so if you're not comfortable with maintaining your shapes as you go, then you would want to take a more rigid approach. Now, if you want to improve your ability to do caricatures, I would actually still point you in the direction of learning how to paint realistically and then simplifying it into the caricature style. Of course, there's much more that can be done here, but hopefully that just gives you a nice framework for making these. And if you have any questions about this, let me know. I kind of, was quick about explaining some of those step-by-step processes that happen along the way. And if you're interested in that, then we can talk about coaching and what that could look like, giving you critiques and things along the way, giving you processes for painting and really helping you level up and improve your skills. So hopefully this was a blessing to you. And if you have any questions, again, just reach out.